Good day everyone, I am Genevieve Kadash. I'm going to tell you all about definite integration. So before we start, let me define first what is integration. So integration is the process of getting or obtaining the antiderivative of a function. Pwede rin siya nating masabi na it is the inverse or the opposite of the differentiation. So, before tayo mag-proceed dun sa ating topic, so these are the topics na dapat meron kang stock knowledge para makaproceed ka dito sa definite integration. So, first is trigonometric and hyperbolic identities, anti-differentiation, basic integration rules, integration of trigonometric identities, integration of logarithmic and exponential functions, integration of hyperbolic functions, general power rule, and use substitution. So, dapat meron kang knowledge about dito sa mga topic na to para mas madali sa'yo na maka-cope up or mas madali mong ma-absorb yung topic na definite integration. So, what is definite integration? So, the definition of definite integration is the function f is defined on the closed interval ab and is continuous in the said interval. So, continuous siya dito sa closed interval na ab na ito. Then, the function f is said to be integrable on ab. So, masasabi mo lang siyang integrable yung function f na ito if yung closed interval na ito is continuous. And this function is denoted by integral of f of x with respect to x from limits a to b. So, this one is the integral. The letter b is the upper limit, and the letter a is the lower limit. Next is a theorem. If a function f is continuous on the closed interval ab, and f is an antiderivative of that function f on that interval, it means that yung function f, yung lowercase f, is continuous on that closed interval, and that uppercase letter f, yun yung antiderivative or yun yung integration ng function f on that interval na given, dun sa closed interval na given, which is a and b, yung lower and upper limit. So, ito, given siya as, ito na yung formula ng ating definite integration. Integral of f of x with respect to dx from limits a to b is equal to the antiderivative of the f of x, function f of x, at b, which is the upper limit, minus antiderivative of the function f at a, which is the lower limit. Ito na siya. Where f of b is the integral of f of x at b, and f of a is the integral of f of x at a. So, before tayo mag-proceed sa ating example is mag-recall muna tayo ng basic integration rules. So, number 1 is the antiderivative of 0. Integral of 0 with respect to x is equal to c, where c is a constant. So, hindi ko na to siya i-explain further itong basic integration rules kasi mag-recall lang naman tayo. And then, number 2 is the antiderivative of a constant k. Dito naman is integral of k with respect to x is equal to kx plus c, wherein yung k is any number basta constant siya. Yeah, constant. Wala siyang variable. Number 3 is the antiderivative of a function multiplied to a constant k. So, dito naman is ilalabas mo lang yung constant k, ilalabas mo lang yung k sa integrals, and then maiiwan yung function sa loob plus c. Number 4 is the antiderivative of a polynomial. Dito naman is separate mo lang yung dalawang function into two integrals. So, magiging integral of f of x with respect to x plus or minus integral of g of x with respect to x. So, ihiwalay mo lang sila sa dalawang integrals. Then, number 5 is the power rule of integration. So, dito naman is pag-add ka lang ng plus 1 sa kanyang exponent and Sa ilalim naman is the same sa kanyang exponent, wherein yung n plus 1 magiging integral of x raised to the power of n with respect to x is equal to x raised to the power of n plus 1 all over n plus 1 plus c. So, where n is not equal to negative 1. So, dapat hindi siya mag-equal sa negative 1 kasi pag mag-equal siya sa negative 1, magiging 0 yung exponent ng iyong x. And now, let's proceed to the first example. Integral of x plus 1 with respect to x from the limits negative 2 to 2. So, note natin na ang ating gagamitin na basic integration rule is the power rule and constant rule. So, dito, ang x has always an exponent, a variable has always an exponent of 1. So, magiging x raised to 1 plus 1, which is yung 1 is the n, and mag-add lang tayo ng 1, which is from the power rule na m plus 1, all over 1 plus 1, plus 1x, which is, we use the constant rule, plus c. Lalagyan natin ng plus c dahil every time tayo mag-integrate is meron tayong plus c, which is, the c is a constant from the limits negative 2 to 2. Then, isi-simplify na natin yung ating na-integrate, which is x raised to the power of 2 all over 2 plus x plus c from the limits negative 2 to 2. Then, remember natin ang definite integration rules na after natin na ma-integrate na ang function is i-plug in na natin or substitute na natin ang upper limit and lower limit from doon sa na-integrate na natin na function. So, ang magiging kalabasan niya is 2 squared all over 2 plus 2 plus c minus bracket negative 2 squared all over 2 plus open parenthesis negative 2 close parenthesis plus c. So, ito is isi-simplify pa natin siya. So, magiging 2 plus 2 plus c minus open parenthesis 4 all over 2 minus 2 plus c close parenthesis. So, ito is masisimplify pa natin siya para mas madaling i-calculate is magiging 2 plus 2 plus c minus 2 plus 2 minus c. So, dito is makakancel out na natin yung c. So, and then 2 plus 2 is 4 minus 2 is 2 plus 2 is equals to 4. So, the final answer is 4. So, always natin remember is ang final answer sa definite integration is wala ng plus c. So, dito, hindi mo na kailangan mag-worry ng plus c. Pwedeng hindi ka na maglagay ng plus c if na-integrate mo na, or pwede ka rin maglagay ng plus c if na-integrate mo na. Kasi it depends dun sa teacher nyo if gugustuhin niya ba na may plus c yung solving nyo or yung pag-evaluate nyo dun sa function na yon or wala. Pero in terms dito is kahit maglagay ka man or hindi is hindi naman rin yun magbabago yung final answer mo. Kasi sa final answer, wala rin namang plus c. So now, let's proceed to the example number 2. So, the second example is the integral of tan theta all over cos theta with respect to theta from the limits 0 to pi. So, dito, isi-simplify muna natin yung function para mas madali natin siya ma-integrate. So, it is equal to integral of tan theta multiplied to 1 all over cos theta with respect to theta all from the limits 0 to pi. So, note natin ang 1 all over cos theta from the trigonometric identities is equal to sec theta. So, it is equal to integral of tan theta sec theta with respect to theta from the limits 0 to pi. So, itong from integration of trigonometric identities naman, integral of tan x sec x with respect to x is equal to sec x plus c. So, itong sec theta natin dito is itong tan theta sec theta natin is magiging sec theta na siya. So, is equal to sec theta from the limits 0 to pi. So, ito naman is isa-substitute lang natin itong limits natin, upper limit and lower limit sa ating na-integrate na function is based dun sa ating formula na definite integration. So, magiging equal siya to sec pi minus sec 0. So, is equal to negative 1 minus 1 is equal to negative 2. So, negative 2 ang final answer natin sa number 2 na example. And now, let's proceed to the last example, which is the example number 3. Integral of 3 e raised to 3x with respect to x from the limits negative infinity to 0. So, dito, ino-note natin from the basic integration rules, which is the constant multiplied to a function is ilalabas natin ang constant and mag-iwan ang function sa loob. So, the next step will be 3 integral of e raised to 3x with respect to x from the limits negative infinity to 0. So, dito is gagamit tayo ng u substitution. So, hindi ko na i-further explain ng u substitution. So, u is equal to 3x, du is equal to 3 dx, dx is equal to du all over 3. So, dito is substitute lang natin itong u du dx sa ating function. So, ang next step will be 3 integral of e raised to u. So, yung u dito is equal to 3x times or multiplied to du all over 3. Ang du all over 3 dito is the dx. Then, the next step will be 3 times 1 all over 3, then, diba, by du all over 3. So, nilabas ang 1/3 sa du all over 3. Dahil ito ay constant, so ang lalabas dito is 3 times 1 all over 3. Integral of e raised to u du from the limits negative infinity to 0. So, next is from the integration of exponential function, ang e raised to u is integral of e raised to x with respect to x is equal to e raised to x plus c. So, dito is ang 3 times 1 all over 3 is 3 all over 3, which is also equal to 1. So, dito is maaalisin na lang natin yung 1 kasi 1 times e raised to u is e raised to u pa rin naman. So, ang e raised to u is i-integrate na natin. So, magiging e raised to u plus c. Pero, aalisin na natin yung plus c kasi hindi naman din magbabago yung answer natin if meron or walang plus c kasi makakancel out din naman pag isa-substitute na natin ang ating upper limit and lower limit. So, the next step will be e raised to u from the limits negative infinity to 0. Then, isa-substitute na natin ulit ang u, which is equal to 3x. So, e raised to 3x from the limits negative infinity to 0. So, dito is i-plug in na natin ang ating lower limit and upper limit, which is 0 and negative infinity. So, is equal to e raised to 3 times 0 minus e raised to negative infinity. So, dito is it is equal to, ang e raised to 3 times 0 is equal to 1 minus e raised to negative infinity, which is equal to 0. So, 1 minus 0 is equal to 1. So, ang final answer natin is 1. So, dito sa final answer is wala ng plus c. So, remember, always remember, ng definite integration is wala ng plus c. So, before natin i-end itong ating discussion is isa-summarize muna natin kung paano natin sinolve or in-evaluate ang definite integration. So, first is, i-simplify muna natin yung function. Then, second is, i-integrate na natin yung function through the basic integration rules or yung integration of the exponential function, logarithmic function, or any integration na may apply natin dun sa function na yon. And then third is i-plug in na natin or isa-substitute na natin ang upper limit and lower limit. Then lastly is i-calculate na natin para makuha na natin ang final answer. But then we should remember na sa definite integration is wala na tayong plus c kasi nakakancel out na yun siya pag isa-substitute na natin ang upper limit and lower limit. And I hope may natutunan kayo sa akin at nadagdagan pa ang inyong knowledge about definite integration. And that would be all. Thank you for watching. Bye!